one, your champion podcast is back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of your number one show. My name is Renz, the man making sense with every sentence. And I'm in the studio with my able co-host, the one and only octopus of worldwide, Sir Boo Boo Elkun. Sir Boo Boo, greetings.
Echo weekend.
Oh man, this weekend get weekends. And we are not in the studio with just Sabubu alone. We also have an esteemed guest in the building. Welcome back to the show, Imbued Man.
Yeah, always good to be back after 3 rounds of matches. There's much more to talk about. Let's go.
Guys, if you are an investor, I want to console you specially after this very tragic weekend that culminated in the sacking of 3 ex-Man United managers and a scramble in the transfer market. This weekend was hot, and we are going to take you through how it happened from A to Z. Now, if you are not following us, quick, enter everywhere where you need enter. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you are following us because it's going to go down in the comment section. Sabubu, first and foremost, how was your weekend?
Well, the weekend, hello fans. Today, we're going to be dragging everybody draggable. Another VAR decision at Stamford Bridge. Fulham scored, the goal was chunked off. Some people said it was a foul. Some people said,
It was a good.
Some people asked, how did they expect the guy to land? If he should land in the air or on the ground. Chelsea won 2-0. Then we got a shocker.
Manchester City
versus Brighton. United escaped
narrowly by the
narrowly
whiskers.
and the
Controversial
normal
decision.
Another VAR wahala there.
decision.
2 actually.
Then Arsenal lost to
Liverpool.
for the first time in over 3 years and losing to one of the
The top 6 for
top
the
6
first
clubs.
time in a long
It was
while.
a match that Arsenal played well. They didn't take their chances. People say Arteta went into the match being defensive, but who would not give Liverpool that respect?
That respect, yeah.
They are champions of England. And Liverpool themselves came out playing defensively too. It was just one moment.
Everybody was cautious,
Yeah,
actually. Everybody was cautious. The game was a little locked up
It was one moment of magic.
Yeah. Indeed.
Then in Italy, the front runners started breaking their legs so early. Inter losing at home to Udinese. Napoli got a late winner. We are seeing what Gasparini is doing at AS Roma.
Yeah.
Barca had to survive a late scare to Real Vallecano. Real Madrid won. They are in kind of the early pace setters in the league.
They are
But
putting results together anyhow they do it.
but
If you believe that Bilbao will fall away at some point, right?
yes,
On
then
9 points too.
Bayern Munich won as usual.
Yeah.
It's a routine thing in Germany. But take it or leave it. The
And also in
investors,
France, I think a
PSG
very notable,
considered so much,
although
but ended up winning 6-3.
yeah. An impressive outing for the teenage
Who
or the young man.
Who scored
João
Neves?
Neves.
Scored a hat-trick. So the weekend came and left, and a lot of people are crying because the investors that we knew were just donating money to the betting companies every hour.
I know the investors right now, they are in tears. But I want to quickly ask our guest on the show, he should tell me how his own weekend went. Because the way Sabubu is crying, I know something happened, but we'll get there. Imbued Man, before we go into the talking points from the weekend, just tell us, what was the highlight of it for you?
Well, you mean the whole weekend?
Yes,
across the
I
big
mean,
matches?
football-wise, yes.
It's difficult to look beyond Anfield, really, because the match itself was the highlight of the weekend, the build-up. Then when you look at the goal,
And then
how it was settled. So
and how it
really,
was
you cannot
settled.
look beyond that.
Yeah. So, guys, it's going to be a really interesting show this time around. We have the latest of transfer news because, funny enough, today is transfer deadline day, and a lot of things have gone down. A lot of things are going down. We are going to keep you posted. But first and foremost, like Sabubu stated, it was lunchtime kickoff at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Fulham, and Chelsea won 2-0, but the match was dominated by the VAR decisions. So quickly, let's get to it. Sabubu, you mentioned that VAR, the first the goal for Crystal Palace by Josh King that was chalked off by VAR due to the foul by Rodrigo Muniz.
Fulham.
Yes, for Fulham. So, in your own opinion, is that a right call?
First of all, it was not an intentional foul. Let's state that.
Is it a foul?
Was it a foul?
No,
Exactly.
based on what not me, based on what the referee says.
Yeah.
And he didn't bump into the guy bumped into him. Let's just look at it from that angle. I know if there's anything about replays, replays tend to bring out
the worst
in any situation because it's in slow-mo, the way it goes. That should have been a goal. It changed the dynamics of that match. And it's now becoming a norm that Stamford Bridge is now becoming the headquarters of controversies when it comes to VAR.
Is that
Really?
so? Is that so?
Yes.
We're not informed,
Well,
though.
the Crystal Palace one, was it at Stamford
It was
Bridge?
Stamford
Was
Bridge.
at Stamford
okay, so I see
Bridge.
what
So
you're- what
you
you're-
understand. And right now, everybody is beginning to wonder what is happening. And this weekend that passed, we saw a lot of penalties being given
Or not given to
because of the new law of holding players
during corner kicks or
corner
set
kicks.
pieces.
You were seeing penalties
Yeah.
flying here and there. That should have been a goal.
That should have been a goal. Okay, Imbued Man, do you agree with Sabubu?
For me, I would even just speak about it generally.
Okay.
There's no need even analyzing it too much.
Yeah.
It's one of those that you put under. Why are you making calls that if you didn't make that call, nobody would even notice anything? If they had given that goal, even on replay, nobody would look at it and say, oh, there was something
He's
wrong.
right,
The
because-
same thing with the Crystal Palace free kick. It's one of those things where the VAR people are overreaching themselves. So it's almost like they're deciding games, bringing out issues where there's none.
Okay.
So for me, it's just
Actually, let me play the...
Wait, no,
okay.
to add to what he said, there are some calls that players are already protesting.
Yeah.
But from what he's saying, those two calls,
You won't even think
there
there's
was no
anything.
protest.
Now-
Everybody was let's just keep going on.
Now, let me play the devil's advocate here, right? For that free kick by Eze, the law says that you have to maintain a certain distance from the opposition wall during a free kick. Now, in this case with Chalobah and Rodrigo Muniz, Chalobah is a centre-back. There's a possibility that if he was not impeded in that position, he might, I'm not saying he would have, he might have recovered to be in position for you. Do you understand?
Do you know where that
Now,
incident took place?
Yes,
Where
of
did-
course.
where did it take
It
place?
was way closer to the center circle
It was in
than
the
the
center
18-yard,
circle.
close to the center circle than the 18-yard box. But I'm just saying, the ball still progressed back to the center circle before advancing to the opposition box. It was a beautiful goal. The goal in itself, excellent. But if there's a foul, is it a foul or not? Does that guy survive a stomp to his ankle that way without... if he goes on a season-ending injury, would you not want to reevaluate that?
You're overanalyzing.
No, I'm not.
Because
I'm just saying,
things like that
you are
happen
saying it's not a foul.
So like he was saying,
Yeah.
if the VAR in all other games decided to be that, to be scrutinizing, you are going to find so many of such things,
Remember
and you'll be trying to justify
see,
it.
you remember
It's the fact that it wasn't brought out in other games. That happens
is a
every time.
physical contact.
Exactly.
Never forget that.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's a physical contact.
okay,
but stomping...
No, it's not. What you're calling stomping now
yes.
is because we are bringing it back and we are analyzing it. It happens so many times in every
Yeah.
game.
The actual stomping we should talk about was
Yeah.
Gordon on Van Dijk. That was, he went
Exactly.
in for it. You understand? There was an intention.
So, intention or not, a foul is a foul.
That wasn't a foul.
I hope we
It
agree.
wasn't a foul.
Okay, so you...
It wasn't
It
a
was
foul.
just the fact.
All right, guys. Sabubu and Imbued Man have said it's not a foul. We want to hear from you in the comment section. Is that a foul or not? And by the way, it wasn't just that. The penalty call also at the headquarters of VAR controversy. Chelsea. So now don't they do calling business. Now that penalty call, Sabubu, there was a handball by João Pedro. A handball does not mean the referee will blow. A handball does not mean it's a foul. Let's establish that first. But the handball by João Pedro in the build-up prior to the second handball that was now penalized for a penalty. Your thoughts?
Wait till you won't make I talk.
No, see, I want your opinion. I want your opinion.
I'll tell you something. When me and Imbued Man, there are
Yes.
times we talk and we talk about precedents.
Yes.
When there's a precedence on something,
Yeah.
the tendency of it being given is 20 to 80. You understand? Now, there are some things that will happen in the match.
84.
80 to 20.
Yeah, 84. Like the tendency is like 80% likely to be given.
No, 20%.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Why am I saying so? There are times referees will make some funny calls and they try to correct it
Compensate.
with another
Yeah.
call.
Funny call.
You understand? But it didn't happen in that instance. And the way the match went on and they didn't give that penalty, I knew calls would always go against Fulham in that match, the way it was going. Because the first half, they played very, very well. But there are times that things are happening to a team and you just realize that the team loses that, let's just get over this match and get the hell out of this place. That's what actually happened to Fulham in that match.
Okay.
Because the calls were just going against them as the match went on.
Okay, so inbuilt man, your own position, do you think that handball, João Pedro's handball should have been penalized before it got to the point of the
For
penalty?
me, what I would just want to say,
Yeah?
we are here, we've been talking for 5 minutes about VAR.
Yeah.
You watched a couple of Italian league matches, Spanish league matches, no
Yeah.
controversy. Bottom line VAR in England is a
England,
mess. It's already a mess. And funny enough, when you look at that free kick controversy at Crystal Palace, Chelsea,
Yeah.
the same thing happened with this guy's free kick, in as much as it wasn't highlighted against Arsenal. The same thing happened. I challenge you to go and look at it. But it's again one of those things that if they don't scrutinize it, nobody sees
won't
it.
see it.
And they didn't call it. So that's the problem. A lot of these calls are not necessary. And the worst thing about it is that 5 weeks into the season, they've forgotten about it. So that's the long and short. VAR is a mess.
Anyways, I don't think a lot of people will be forgetting about it. We will be scrutinizing VAR. Our eyes are on you.
But you cry, so to speak, like they say, and nothing will be done.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Sometimes, and another thing is, it is important. Your skipper should speak up. If you are not vociferous about some of these incidents, you might not get the decision going your way. So let's move on from the theater of VAR calls.
Absolutely.
Let us go to the actual theater of dreams in
Yes.
Manchester. Now, we saw a United that were very wasteful in the first half against Burnley. And it came back to bite them. And they were just lucky, the Fergie time they gave to them.
Yes.
Help them out. And I worry for United. I really, really worry for them. Because if they met a much better team, they would have lost that match. You understand?
Yeah.
And United's biggest problem is not their front line. It's awesome.
Yeah.
They would come at you.
Midfield to defense.
That midfield
You have
to
always
defense
said that.
is the problem. And I don't know how Amorim wants to do it because now everybody's glued to our phones, looking at deadline, and you're not hearing there's an
whisper.
interest. There's an
Yes.
interest that United wants a particular player. It's like they're okay, fine. We're
I
good.
think they are scrambling to sign a goalkeeper, which of course will be great progress. They need an upgrade on Bayinda and Onana. Although they are going for a 90-year-old Saint Le Mans. So I don't know how.
They said he has one of the highest save rates.
I don't know how
in the league,
upgrading that
all
will
over
be
the league
upgrading.
last
When
season.
you come into England, Onana was impressive for Inter
Ajax,
Milan
Inter.
and Ajax in the Champions League. But we are seeing how he's
I
struggling in
forgot
England.
that in England, the shot na stone.
Yeah, they lost Stoner.
But
Yeah.
there's something I'd like to say about United beyond the obvious lack of quality players all over.
Yeah.
I think they have a huge mental scar.
Okay.
Two things. You went throughout last season, you didn't win consecutive games. There's
Yeah.
something that does to you. You don't believe you can see out games. So even when they played well in the first half, they are going back in that second half thinking, for us not to have scored 2 or 3 goals, most likely we are going to lose this game
And
or
then
draw.
they concede.
Then when you look at games like the one they played against Chelsea, that ended up being 4-3 or so.
4-3, yeah.
When they were 3, things like that, they would need to have made an impressive run of games, like win 3-4 games before they can overcome that mental scar.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
the
true.
problem.
And then the body language from Amorim, we saw them get eliminated from the cup
Looking
against
away.
Grimsby, and then he was looking away during the
penalty.
penalty shootout, and even during the Burnley fixture, his body language is not really exuding confidence. Now, rumors have emerged that Amorim might walk away from Manchester United.
It's not going to anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
Sabubu, I don't understand because the way you are saying that thing, it seems you want a particular club to play Man United before he leaves.
No, they should give him.
They should give him time.
They should give him time.
Okay, no problem. Away from the theater of dreams, we saw one of the most shocking results. Let's not say one of the most shocking results, but Tottenham have been impressive to start the season, and then they lost to an even more impressive Bournemouth, who could have gotten more goals than they actually recorded. Sabubu, Inbuild man.
ask
How you see that result?
Well, for me, Bournemouth, when you look at their results
Yeah.
over the last 2 seasons against the top teams, you shouldn't be too
They're
surprised.
not
Yeah.
The only reason why people started thinking maybe they might decline is because they lost a lot
lost-
of defenders.
yeah.
But apparently they have a coach who knows what he is doing. We didn't know a lot of those names at the beginning of last season. Maybe the same thing will happen this season. We realize that, okay, they've been well replaced.
Let's talk about City and Brighton. A match. It was a match of 2 halves and a fantastic substitution. City were all over the. City were all over Brighton.
in the first half.
Haaland scored, and we now said, Ghost feast
Goals is going to
has started.
flow.
Then Brighton were able to manage the first half. The match finished. Second half, City were still trying to get a second goal. Then the coach made those substitutions, and one of their old boys came to bite them back. He hardly loses
in Oga
penalties.
James.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
The second goal was a team goal, an awesome goal. Someone, the guy, that striker said, you know what?
Quintessential Brighton.
I
Yeah.
will go. He went at that defense. And that player would either want to pass or want to shoot. And when he scored that goal, I saw the dejection in the face of City players. It was as if, we don't go.
To be honest, it seems City cannot catch a break right now. I mean, it just seems like the gods of football, the pantheon of the gods have ruled that City are just going to suffer back to back. I mean, Guardiola has put together a reasonable squad, but the question is, you can't put a finger on it. What is happening? And I kind of feel like they have lost their aura of invincibility.
That's one. Yeah.
Teams used to fear Manchester City, but right now nobody seems to care. I mean, look at a Brighton coming back from a goal down, and they play fearlessly, and they got their result. So it's just funny. Hopefully Guardiola figures it out, but if he doesn't, that's fine. The league is getting even more competitive, and you will not be surprised to see the likes of Tottenham, Bournemouth in and around the top 4 fighting for the Champions League places. Chelsea are also there strengthening. Liverpool look really impressive. And of course, we already talked about that fixture, and we are going to talk about it a little more. But you just look at that. And then, Guardiola with all his signings, his boy, Jack Grealish, is busy balling at Everton. This life, no balance. People when they pursue, they impress. People when they impress, it be like they will soon pursue them. Yeah. But that's no problem. We were talking about another manager that they might pursue, Graham Potter, last week. This week, see, this life, just don't give up. Don't give up. We're saying this guy looks like somebody that they might sack. Now, Nuno Espirito Santo, when they fear actually sack. 3-0. How was that result for you? I mean, do you still think he might be going, or?
Well, if he wins the next match, which is likely going to be at home, then he will have a breather. You understand? Now, there's already tension between the owner of
Nottingham Forest and Marinakis.
So,
the Don.
Football is a very crazy thing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want Graham Potter to be fired. I like him. I like West Ham. You understand? It's one of the best. It's one of the best footballing club academies in England. They know how to bring in players. They're very good at doing it. Yeah. They play in a very fantastic stadium. They have a good fan base. The bubble thing and all. But their fans, they quick vex.
Everybody they quick vex these days.
Social
media don't make football like nobody. You have access to information, stats, and all those things. You start saying this is the worst start to the season since 2092. But all in all, like a team that lost lost one of their best players, and they're about to lose Lucas Paqueta to Aston Villa. I mean, well done to Graham Potter. So quickly, let's just talk about Arsenal versus Liverpool. I mean, you already know that the game was, and it was a closely contested fixture, and it took a moment of magic to settle it.
Yeah.
It took a moment of magic. There's no shame. I think both Arsenal and Liverpool supporters can be proud of how their teams represented themselves. A goal from a free kick, I mean, it would take it. You can compare it to something like what Declan Rice did against Madrid. It's a free kick you wouldn't expect to go into the back of the net. You were expecting a delivery or something like that, or just a speculative attempt. But all in all, what lessons would Arteta have taken from that fixture in Bidman?
For me, I just think that it's one of those games that doesn't need too much analysis. When two top teams go against each other, even before the game, you'll hear them saying stuff like the slim margins. Maybe an error from one of them or a moment of brilliance, and that's what happened. There's not too much to say about it, really. There's not too much to learn from about Arsenal and Liverpool as well. We saw two top teams yesterday. Both of them did not really go for it. Let me read what this guy said after the game. Slots.
Okay.
He said, if we play this game 10 times more, in the same fashion, then I think it is 8 times a draw. Liverpool win once and Arsenal win the other time.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to add.
Really close. And then, okay, something else in another area or another angle where we can look at that fixture. How do you think, as an Arsenal fan, how do you think the Arsenal signings are settling in? You started the match without a Saka, without Odegaard. How do you think, and then you subsequently brought on an Eze. Gyökeres started. How do you think your signings, Mosquera came in?
I was about to say
Very impressive performance, by the way, from that young man. First time appearing in the division, and he acquitted himself respectfully.
Well, yeah.
Fantastic performance. So what do you think about the Arsenal signings so far, from what you saw in that fixture? A lot of optimism?
Again, it's early days. Then again, when you're playing a team like Liverpool, you can't really judge how good a player is because everybody's conservative, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you look at someone like Eze. People were saying maybe Arteta could have brought him in earlier, but the plan was to keep it solid. Then because we had a far better bench than Liverpool, really. So Arteta actually approached that game well. But by the time they came in, the game was all over the place, back and forth, niggles, fouls, and so it's difficult to judge them for now. Mosquera was good, I haven't said that.
Yeah, I was going to throw the alternative of that, the Liverpool signings. There was Ekitike, there was Weeds, who was a little, and then Kekes. And so what do you think about those other signings? And then tactically, Sobozai was at right back, so that was something, but generally.
If you look at that match very well, Madueke really impressed.
Yeah.
Because
we forgot about
that is actually his preferred position.
Yeah.
But he will have to make do with playing either centrally or left. And he stopped that Kekes guy. He was putting him on the run steadily.
Keke is going to run like Keke.
And another player that impressed was Califiori.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Kept Salah very quiet.
Very quiet indeed.
And he was joining in the midfield.
Yeah.
Another player that I don't know what Arsenal plans to do with Timo. Because it's like when he hugs the touchline, he forgets himself whether to cross or to pass. It's Martinelli.
Make una leave Martin. It's too early.
You understand?
Yeah.
But I actually saw the best and the worst of Arsenal yesterday. I saw the best and the worst of Liverpool. And irrespective of who Liverpool is signing, irrespective of who Arsenal is signing, these are two teams that would go a long way in the Premiership title, and other teams will still shake them in the title race.
Yeah.
Because they're not as invincible as they both think they are.
The league is going to be even more interesting as the days roll by. And that is how this show is even going to get more interesting. Guys, we have had a very interesting segment looking at what went down during the last weekend or match week. Now we are going to look at the international fixtures when we come back. Not much. We are just going to touch and highlight on our own Super Eagles and the quest for qualification for the next World Cup. We are also going to be looking at the transfer deadline scramble. Who has gone where, who is going where, who might go where, and who will go where. But you go nowhere. This is Fantactics. We are going for a break. Welcome back to Fantactics, presented by Trent Stark. My guys, my people. Nigeria will be looking to, it's a miracle. I think it should be a miracle.
They'll be looking to finish second.
Nigeria will be looking to finish second in the World Cup qualifying campaign. Now we have 2 fixtures coming up. We'll be taking on Rwanda, and then we'll be traveling to South Africa in 2 must-win fixtures. Now we are praying to God hoping that FIFA will give us an assist, because I call it an assist. If you don't take care of your business, that is when you start relying on things like
really.
a point deduction for an ineligible player, blah 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 blah.
It's unfortunate.
But I wanted to ask you guys what we really need to do. But I know we will all agree that we need to win the games, Abi. We'll just say we need to win the games.
So you know there are some times that when a team is not getting results, you're scratching your head and you cannot say why. Well, for the Super Eagles, it's the same story. No coordination. Individual players playing well for their club. When they come back to the national team, you cannot really see that cohesion. Look at Iwobi. Sometimes look at him playing for Fulham and you're like, wow, fantastic player.
Yeah.
Not the same thing.
Yesterday, somebody was shouting, "No, be this Iwobi. Where go come Super Eagles? He go they play rubbish." But we said, look, this guy is not always played in this same position.
I want to ask a question. Is it that the coach doesn't have time, or it's too early for him to make any impact?
To be honest, and I don't want to sound disrespectful or speculate too much, but we know in our heart of hearts as Nigerians that our football is suffering from too much interference. You get players getting call-ups that they don't really deserve sometimes. Although this squad now, we can say most of the players that were called to camp are players that are impressing for their clubs and all that. We still expected to see some other players who could have made the cut, but most of the time you look at that squad and you feel like godfatherism and regionalism and stuff like that is still, or favoritism is still affecting that squad, and it's something that might affect the coach because you're making the best players unavailable for selection. So that's another thing. But all we can say is give us more goals, give us 3 points, because if we no go World Cup,
it will be disastrous. We have two African footballers of the year consecutively,
and you can't appear on the global
the last
stage.
World Cup we missed it.
And this World Cup,
so at some point you will not be called elite anymore.
Yes, it's true. It's true, because your rankings will just tank, and a lot of African countries are on the rise. The administration of football, especially in the North African countries, impeccable.
Look at Morocco.
Top quality.
Look at Morocco winning the.
FIFA don't even go camp for Morocco because they know what they are doing.
They won the Chan.
The WAFCON, Chan, everything now.
And they are hosting the next Nations Cup. They have a very good squad.
They are hosting even the age group competitions.
So it's obvious that they are the favourites of the next African Cup of Nations that will take place in Morocco.
They are obviously doing something right. So Nigeria, we can learn.
See, Nigeria, if there's anything I'm going to say before we go to transfer news is, if you miss the World Cup for the second consecutive time, your pulling power will reduce. The big teams in Europe that like to play African teams will not want to call you to play matches.
Yeah.
Your negotiating power with kit manufacturers will drop.
True.
The only luck Nigeria has is our swag is helping our
cultural pool, yes.
Sell. If not,
even the influence of Afrobeats too. Anyhow, they somehow put Nigeria on the
because if not, there's nothing to write home about with the way we are going about our football management in this country.
Yeah. Guys, quickly, we are going to touch down into transfers to round up the show. This is deadline day. As we day like this today, people they make moves left and right. One Nigerian striker don't land for Wolves. Another one, attacking midfielder, they land for Crystal Palace. We'll see whether that one will go through. Victor Boniface, rumor they tell us say both Werder Bremen and which other club? That one English club don't enter picture now. They go for him. But generally, let's look at what's going down. Sabubu, on the Arsenal front, inbuilt man, what's happening?
Well,
Any moves we
should keep? I think our business is done in terms of incomings. Impressive, right? But I think it's the outgoings. And I think about 3 or 4 players are on the move today.
Who?
Vieira and Lokonga. Lokonga has been confirmed permanent.
Nelson.
Vieira on loan. Nelson and possibly to Marcelo, we are looking at Zinchenko.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But there's still late rumor. We don't know how true it is that Andrea Beta is in communication with Atlanta to see if, in quotes,
man, yeah, Oliver Twist.
No,
with all the players as well as well.
No, see, to see if
you call them Oliver Tuesday, you call Chelsea.
No, you know why?
No, Chelsea, no more. Chelsea's living up to expectation. No more.
Chelsea na Solomon, King Solomon.
See, you know why? Because Martinelli might go to the Arabian Peninsula.
Okay.
He might.
Okay.
And when you know the good thing about Arabians buying your players, you have guaranteed cash.
Yeah.
So that might just work out for Lookman, and Atlanta might just allow him go because he's outside Italy.
Our relationship has broken down.
Yes,
anyway.
So that is it.
All right, guys. Quickly, let me just go through some of the news that is making the rounds. From what I have here, Fiorentina have bagged Tariq Lamptey from Brighton. Sancho to Aston Villa is looking highly likely on deadline day. Bayern Munich are in for Ademola Lookman since it was actually an alternative to Jackson. They have gotten Jackson now, so we'll keep an eye on that if a move is going to materialize. We also heard rumors that Arsenal are looking to guide with Demola. So let's see. It will be an upgrade on Martinelli. I don't know if you agree or you disagree. Definitely an upgrade. And then we also have news that Juventus have reached a deal with RB Leipzig for Loy Openda because Tottenham hijacked their move for Randa Kolomwani. So, merry-go-round, they happen everywhere.
The elephant in the room, Isak, I hope you don't forget.
Yeah, no, of course. I don't know if Isak is still news, but we all knew that he was ending up at Liverpool. So that has been sorted out. Newcastle got Nick Woutmade from Stuttgart and got Johan Wissa from Brentford to replace him. So their own business is done. Man United are in talks for Sean Lemans, like we said earlier. And he's looking likely to join them. They have elected to go for him instead of Martinez, who has signed a contract extension for his retirement at Aston Villa. And then, Mark Guehi is another one to look out for. Now, Guehi is looking to join Liverpool in a £35 million deal, but he's been held up by the rondo of his replacement. I think Crystal Palace were looking to get Igor from Brighton. Now, West Ham don't go hijack this. I don't know why they hijack people things this transfer window.
And Guehi has even passed his medical.
Yeah, and Guehi had finished with his medical, but Crystal Palace were hoping to get a replacement. If they don't replace him, well, sorry for them, no transfer fee for them because I don't believe he will sign a contract extension. But we have to keep an eye out for that. Joe Gomez is also looking to move out if Guehi comes in. So that's another one that we are waiting for. Aston Villa have Harvey Elliott. And then, basically that's it. Nothing much from that angle. Kobe Mainoo wanted to leave Manchester United, but obviously all attempts at coming from the door, escaping the ship, whether they sink or they sink, has proved abortive.
The Mount injury and this other player
wanted to use helicopter
to run. Emerson Palmieri has signed for Marseille from West Ham. Bournemouth have signed another promising centre back in Velko Milosavic. Now, wow!
That's a
wow! So that Nicolo Zaniolo, who was on loan sometime at Aston Villa, is now set to join Udinese. And some other moves to watch out for. When we come back next on the show, if anything don't happen, well, we no catch her now. We'll go catch her later. Hopefully, our boy Victor Boniface, something surfaces for him. You know, we're talking earlier off camera about the disappointment of his move to AC Milan and the circumstances surrounding it. And I always say, you can always come back from a setback. And that's just it. Just like Graham Potter survived this round, we hope he gets a move that will put him in the shop window.
Nigerian player's contract was cancelled. I think it was Awoni.
Oh, really?
No, Emmanuel Dennis, yes.
Was cancelled.
Emmanuel Dennis.
He's not been playing at Forest.
Yeah, I think actually it's not a bad move for him. If rather than sit on the bench, this was a player that was impressing in the Champions League
Skillful.
3-4 years ago. You get yourself in the shop window, get yourself a team where you see consistent.
He would go to Turkey or Arab.
It be like say everybody now they go where they go see Turkey or where they go get Arab money. But no problem. Our own be say we hear, we watch, we talk, we put mouth, and we give you opportunity to also put mouth. Guys, a very interesting show today. Thank you once again for being in the studio. Inbuild man. Please, a word for our our viewers.
We know that nobody likes the international break. 2 weeks of boredom.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we'll be back with a bang.
Yes.
Been good there.
Indeed. Anything less than Nigeria winning their 2 matches, Mona avoid me with anything Super Eagles because we go roast them like turkey. I rest my case on God as we go for next week until we come back upper week. Any week, don't be weak. We will be back.